Welcome back, Duelist. Casual Duelist here today, and I've got another little sort of double skill variation deck. And like I said last video, I wanted to do Espa Roba plus Jinzo to sort of go up against Odeon and all the trap monsters, and I think I did pretty well. And at least with one of these skills, you could play this casually on a regular table in a tournament as well. It's not going to get you as far as Pseudo Monarchs will for the same budget, but it is more fun to play. So let's start off with our skill cards real quick. The first skill, and the one that I'm more about, is it's Jinzo. And then there's the other skill, Psychic Duelist. Give or take, I'm not impressed here. It's Jinzo's way better. Obviously, we can activate this one more than once per duel. This is another one of those once per turn type effects, and that's what makes it so good. Now, we'll cover this at the end, like usual. So let me put those guys back here. All right, the rest of the deck list, for those of you who are just here for that, we're going to be running 3 copies Breaker the Magic Warrior, because awesome. 3 copies Jinzo, because it can't be his deck without him. And 3 copies Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. And that's just going to be our 9 monster count. Moving over to the spells, we're going to play 2 copies of Allure of Darkness, because we want to draw stuff. 3 Books of Moon, because we want to shut stuff down. The single Cosmic Cyclone, because good. The double Nobleman of Crossout, because we had the space. The double Offerings to the Doomed, because of reasons. And the singular trap card, Psychic Shockwave, for Jinzo. And this is really just like a flavor card here. You guys could trade this out. You guys could play whatever you want. You want to play something that it's going to help more in a Monarch matchup, go ahead and slip in a Kaiser Glider or something in this position, and you guys will be just fine. That said, we're about 2 minutes in. The deck list is over. If that's all you came for, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. And if this helped, maybe consider throwing a subscription at us. But let your friends know about the channel. That's been very helpful so far, and I've been watching just a crazy amount of people deciding that this is something they want to watch, and thank you. But like usual, class is dismissed. You guys can go. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. For everybody else, let's talk about these skills real quick. So, starting with the Psychic Duelist, so I could stop talking about it sooner, you get to activate one of the following skills during your main phase by paying half your life points. Half the life points again, guys. These aren't even great effects. So the first one, we can target a set card on the opponent's spell trap and declare a type of card, whether it be monster, spell, or trap. Again, I don't think there were any monsters yet that can be set as spell traps yet. So I'm not sure what that's about. You reveal the face down card after you call it, and if it's the declared type, it cannot be activated this turn. I'm sure that there is going to be a reason to play that, but right now it boggles my mind. I can't for the life of me figure that out. The second effect is randomly select a card in your opponent's hand, play the same guessing game, again for half your life points. And if they have to reveal the card, and then if you were right, you get to do a mind-boggling 500 points of damage. This belongs in a pile next to the Taya skill card, because unfortunately it was, and I hate to say this, a waste of cardboard. So we're going to talk about its Jinzo now, and this one is, yeah, this is the skill, guys. So first off, Jinzo monsters you control are unaffected by opponent's skill cards. So again, in the matchup against Inner Conflict, they cannot take your Jinzo. They've got to come at Jinzo with the Kaiser Glider, or something that's bigger than it, or willfully smash into it with another Jinzo or Grand Marg, or insert Monarch level card here. They cannot take your Jinzo. So that's amazing. And then secondly, once per turn, this is my favorite thing, during your main phase, if you control Jinzo, which you should, you can look at one face down card in your opponent's spell trap zone, and if it's a trap, draw a card. Oh. So my Jinzo's immune to Inner Conflict, and as long as there's a trap my opponent can't activate, I continually get to ping a free card every turn. Yes, please. It's Jinzo is the skill to go with. So let's set our skill guy over here. And then we're going to just talk over the deck. And again, most of this is self-explanatory. And not a lot of this really needs to be explained. So Breaker, base summon at 16 with the ability to destroy back row. If you choose not to destroy the back row, the token gets him up to 1900. Great way to start the round. Note the attribute. We need that for Allure. Jinzo, title or card. Dark, obviously he's good. We need him for this. And traps and their effects on the field cannot be activated. Negate all trap effects on the field. Yes, brilliant. Now, your opponent may be able to activate Lost Wind's secondary ability to bring it back to the field when a monster is special summoned. And yes, that will resolve in the discard pile, but unless they get rid of the Jinzo, they can't use it. Also, we're not going to special summon. Lost Wind wouldn't matter against us anyway. Well, that's not true. We might be special summoning, but it'd be Jinzo, and therefore useless. So, 3 Jinzos, maximize your opportunity here. I will be trying to track down a third one so we get that premium all foils look. Next up, Kaiku, again. Can't sleep on this guy. He's got a base 1800 power. And the effects, when he inflicts battle damage to the opponent, you can banish up to 2 monsters in their graveyard. But your opponent is not allowed to banish cards from either graveyard. And I'm sure this will come into play more later on. Say Chaos enters the game. But, and rightfully so, this will stop certain things like King of the Skull Servants and some of those zombie decks. And again, I don't want to get ran over by those quite yet, and Jinzo would not like that either. Let's just play the Kaikus, okay? And again, we're maximizing 3. This is going to give us 9 Allure of Darkness targets. We're going to be using 2 copies. Draw 2 cards, banish a dark from your hand, and if you can't banish the dark from your hand, you lose your hand. So that's it in a nutshell. The Book of Moon. Turn a face-up monster into face-down defense. Obviously, we can block attacks. Obviously, we can set our opponent's monster like if they decide to come at us with Kaiser Glider, if they decide to attack with Jinzo. An unfortunate one would be if they were to attack with a normal summoned no tribute charging Gaia the Fierce Knight. We're going to reset its stats from 19 to 23. This stops Relinquish from vacuuming up one of your cards. This stops Restrict from vacuuming up one of your cards. This stops Lord of D from activating its the Dragon Caller skill to go into the Double Dragons Big Summon. It stops an awful lot. And again, we get 1 per Battle City box. And if you were lucky enough to be able to purchase all 3 like I did, look, there's no reason not to play 3 in just about every deck that you're going to play. So, Book of Moon, Cosmic Cyclone, we want to take care of that 1 pesky back row. Maybe our opponent has a Book of Moon, and we can trigger it a little sooner. Maybe they're going to play... well, again, Zoma wouldn't matter against us, because as soon as Jinzo's on the field, we're going to be able to force their Zoma from the front row to the back row, face up, and the monster won't reappear even if they get rid of our Jinzo or turn him face down. So Cosmic Cyclone's really there to get rid of the disruption play that may occur to you. Again, double Nobleman of Crossout. Great card. We want to break the walls. And obviously we don't want to fall victim to Apprentice Magician, Old Vindictive Magician stall out techniques. So this will help take care of that immediately. And the double Offerings to the Doomed making another appearance in one of my decks because, again, our skill card gives us an optional once per turn draw. Now, what I like more about It's Jinzo than I did about Guardians of the Tomb, this draw occurs on my own turn. Yes, I can set the card I drew from Guardians of the Tomb, but with It's Jinzo, it might be the Offerings to the Doomed that I need, and I can activate it, and I know I may be able to activate this again next turn, or I activated this last turn, and Jinzo's now on the field, and It's Jinzo goes live, and it's like I never missed my draw. Or maybe you didn't activate this yet, and you got your draw, and then you summoned your Jinzo, and then you got an extra draw. It's Jinzo best Jinzo skill card. Offerings to Doomed Great Tech card. And last at bat, we got the Psychic Shockwave. Now what this does is when the opponent activates a trap card, you will discard a spell or trap, and then special summon a level 6 Dark Machine from your deck. Now, that's only Jinzo in this build. I'm sure there's a couple other machines that you could use, but Jinzo will essentially answer as a counter trap, 2 traps, as long as the trap activated wasn't a counter trap. We do have to mind our spell speeds here. It is a one-of because it's just another way to get Jinzo. Again, with Widespread Ruin being out there, Zero Gravity, Windstorm of Itaqua, Adhesion Trap Hole. Insert another half dozen good trap cards out there. And Psychic Shockwave, as long as we don't already have Jinzo, allows us to board the monster immediately, gaining the effect and effectively gaining control of the duel in that moment off the singular. Now, I didn't want to play more than one because I didn't want to brick myself by drawing it too often, and during playtest, one was just fine, especially since I am running a double Allure of Darkness and we had its Jinzo running most of the time as our skill card. We had more than enough opportunities to draw. This is not your normal deck. Obviously, I would prefer that you guys use its Jinzo. Obviously, I keep talking about it. Psychic Duelist, again, like I think you guys should just relegate that one to they sort of missed it with this skill, or utilize this as a side skill when you're playing the, for fun, House Rule Homebrew format where you are allowed to use up to 2 skills that they mentioned on the Battle City paperwork. If you guys want to carry an extra deck, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to stop featuring it when it's not necessary. And of course, you know, play whatever you want in your sideboard. Just have fun with this. This is another one of those fun decks that it's not competitive at first glance, but definitely has some teeth to it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'd like to thank you guys for all of the support and subscription and watching and commenting. And we still have days until the end of the week, which we will be picking the second week 2 winners and giving away more cards. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to go build that Dark World deck, get that up in the next couple of days, and I'll see you guys then. Later.